Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, November 2nd, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald. If you follow Town Manager Tony Mizuko on Twitter, you would have noticed that Norwood has been hosting two gentlemen from Southeast Asia as part of the ICMA program. The ICMA is the International City Managers Association. This organization is the world's leading association of professional city and county managers and other employees who serve local governments. Bank L from Thailand and Dex Chen from Singapore have spent the last 2 weeks learning what makes Norwood and the surrounding towns run.
Now that I've been here, I think Norwood strikes me as a town that's very community focused. It's a town which is very well planned, and it has really good administrators as well as communities that help to make things happen. There's a lot of things here to do in Norwood, although it's really small.
There have been many highlights for them during the trip, one of which stands out more than the others.
The highlight, I would say, the town hall. That not just only the building that is very unique. In Thailand, we never have town hall like this. Very old, very beautiful, and also very nice people there. Even the town hall is not that big, but people in every department, they collaborate together very well.
And of course, no trip would be complete without sampling our local food.
I think there's a lot of good food. I mean, I love the Louis burger, the steak tips at Conrad's, the breakfast at Mugs and Muffins. So there's so much good food over here, and I think the best food has to be the Louis burger. Who would have thought that egg salad in a hamburger would taste so good?
Bank and Dex have really enjoyed their trip thus far and wanted to thank everyone they have met along the way.
Thank you, the town of Norwood. We would really miss you, and we thank you all for all that you've given us, all the nice experiences and memories, and we hope to come back and visit again.
Thank you so much, and sorry if I cannot remember all of your names, but I can. I am sure I will bring good memory back to Thailand, and I plan to visit Norwood again. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you both for visiting Norwood, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your stay. Veterans Day is just 1 week away, and our Veteran Service Agent, Ted Mulvihill, wanted to inform the public on how the town plans to participate in this special day.
Hello again, friends. This is Teddy Mulvihill from the Town of Norwood Department of Veteran Services with a Norwood Veterans Day 2018 update. On Sunday, November 11th, there'll be a 9 o'clock Mass at St. Catherine's, remembering our veterans and honoring them. And then at 1:30 in the afternoon, the parade will step off from the vault. And the route of march is up Washington Street to the Town Common, where we'll commence and have the Memorial Veterans Day ceremonies and observances, roughly 2:15, 2:30, depending on how long it takes to walk up the street. And we have a full program planned with music and words of prayer and remembrance and speeches. And it's just a great day. I love Veterans Day. It's a day we can all say thank you to a veteran, and that's really important that we do that. Behind me, it is the 100th anniversary of the signing of the armistice 100 years ago on November 11th. So in Memorial Hall, in Town Hall, we're going to have an exhibit set up of World War I memorabilia and photographs and all kinds of neat stuff showing us what it was like in those days, soldiers, what their uniforms were like, and just to get a general sense of our life in America in that period of time. Also at that time, we're going to have a birthday party because the town hall turns 90 years old on that day. You know, the building is just a treasure, recognized not only by our town, but by the Commonwealth and the Register of Historic Places. And people don't know it, but it's actually called Norwood Memorial Municipal Building. In fact, it says right on the front of the building, it says dedicated to the patriotic spirit and valor of the men and women from Norwood who served their country in time of war. So you can see our town has a long history of honoring our veterans, going back to our pre-Revolutionary War days. So it'll be a great day to honor our veterans past, and it'll be a great day to honor our veterans present It's so important that we thank them and recognize their service. So if you know someone who served, or a man or a woman, just take a quick moment and say thanks. I know what you did. I appreciate your service.
Thanks, Teddy. And if you are available on the 11th, please head to the Town Commons to attend the ceremonies. Norwood Community Media will also be broadcasting the event live. Stay tuned after this break to learn more about the upcoming state election and this week's Living Local. Welcome back. Just a reminder to all Norwood residents that state elections are Tuesday, November 6th. On this year's ballot will be a number of contested state races and 3 ballot questions. Question number 1 proposes a law that would limit how many patients could be assigned to each registered nurse in Massachusetts hospitals and certain other healthcare facilities. A yes vote would limit the number of patients that could be assigned to 1 registered nurse, and a no vote would make no changes to the current laws. Question number 2 proposes a law that would create a citizens' commission to consider and recommend potential amendments to the United States Constitution to establish that corporations do not have the same constitutional rights as human beings, and that campaign contributions and expenditures may be regulated. A yes vote would create a citizens' commission to advance an amendment to the United States Constitution to limit the influence of money in elections, and a no vote would not create this commission. And finally, question number 3. This law adds gender identity to the list of prohibited grounds for discrimination in places of public accommodation, resort, or amusement. A yes vote would keep in place the current law, and a no vote would repeal the provision of the public accommodation law. Please remember to go out and vote on Tuesday, November 6th. Now let's take a look at this week's Living Local.
My name is Dennis Stein, and I'm a photographer. I started in the 80s. I'm self-taught, and I'm here at Space Center. I'm loving it. I use different cameras, and I photograph whatever comes to my eye, whether it's urban or landscape or whatever that I see, and different cameras have different effects. So I try to combine what I see with the camera that would make most out of what I see.
Being self-taught, Dennis Stein didn't start out as a photographer.
I was a mental health worker, and I had a degree in psychology, and I liked photography when I was in my younger years. And then I just started to work with that. And I eventually worked for a newspaper, Metro West Daily News out of Framingham. I was stringing for them for a long time. I happened to show them my portfolio, and they liked my work. So from that point, I started to do fine art work as well, taking workshops in fine art and darkroom and portrait work and things like that, landscapes. And I just carried that into my life from that point.
Dennis likes to bring to life mundane objects through his photography.
Actually, so I like to bring out the quality of mundane things and make it look better than they are. And so people walk by things and look at things, and it's like trees, landscapes that they take for granted. And if I could bring something more to that in a photograph, it really makes it special. So a lot of people look at my work and they say, you know, it's just, I walk by things every day like this, and it's like, this is a great photograph of that thing. So it's pretty cool.
Dennis loves to shoot his photographs on a variety of different cameras, including older styles.
I have digital cameras, film cameras, Polaroid cameras, and I just decide what to use when I go out. So I usually have at least one with me. And for my digital camera, I do have Olympus equipment, but I just bought a Russian camera, a film camera from the 1950s, I think it was, or so. I have older 120 format folding cameras that are from the 50s as well. So it's just, I love the old stuff to shoot with.
Learning about the Space Center through word of mouth, Dennis signed a lease with his friend Jillian and they both are enjoying the collegial atmosphere at the Space Center.
It's a great group, and we get along really well, and we do things together like drink beer at Percival's. But it's really nice. I mean, I offer my services sometimes to print for people too here, other tenants and things like that. So I have a website online which is sort of not kept up very well, but Google me and see what happens.
Thanks, Dennis. Stay tuned after this break to find out what's happening in your local government. Welcome back to Norwood News. On Monday, the Budget Balancing Committee met in room 24 of Town Hall. Town Manager Tony Mazzucco gave a presentation on the preliminary FY20 first pass budget to the committee. In addition, it was decided at Monday's meeting that with special town meeting taking place next week, a committee will not give a presentation at that meeting. Rather, a public meeting will be held on November 29th.
Next item is the November 29th public meeting. I have an item for development and presentations, which is just a little reminder to everyone that, you know, there will be presentations made at that November 29th meeting. You know, I'll be doing a presentation. There'll be a presentation done for the general government side. There'll be a presentation done for the school side. And something we're going to have to start to work on and put together so that everything, you know, follows a pattern and is coherent. So it's something that we have to do.
Details on this meeting will be announced at the special town meeting on November 8th. The Budget Balancing Committee will next meet on November 19th. Also on Monday, the Planning Board met in room 12 of Town Hall. The board heard from multiple visitors, including representatives from the Science Center and the St. Catherine's Convent. One representative from Moderna Therapeutics came before the board to request a street name change, with the goal in mind to promote the company's services with the name of the street. After some discussion, the board decided that Moderna Way was the most desirable street name change.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the change from Planting Field Road to Moderna Way from the intersection of Tech Drive, Planting Field Road, and Upland Circle, as shown on the map, with the subject to the approval of police, fire, DPW, that is satisfactory with those boards.
Okay.
Yes, and any other boards you need to.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No, yeah.
4-0.
The Planning Board is scheduled to meet on November 19th. To watch complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what's happening in your schools.
Norwood. Here, we are chosen at birth. Our loyalties are predetermined. And our families, defined. Raised by the stories of those that came before us.
Here's a breakaway. Bill Norman, he's in back and score!
Fearlessly driven by the hope of what's to come. It chooses us. It defines us. And for us, it's everything. This is Norwood. And here, sports are in our blood.
Norwood Mustangs 2015 are the state Division I champs.
Welcome back. Now let's toss it over to Tim Rose to find out what is happening around the Norwood School District.
Hi guys, thanks for joining me for another update on events and activities happening around our Norwood school community. This year, the Callahan School Library has been transformed into a makerspace. Students hone their STEM and design skills and engage in creative thinking by solving the design challenges set up by the library teacher, Mr. Rowland, at various stations. The technology-rich stations are changed every week or two and are often directly tied into the books they are reading in library time. Stations set up for Halloween this week include building a Scaredy Bot, a robot that moves when something gets close to it, building shadow puppets for a hand-built shadow box, and a school-wide collaboration to build a Lego neighborhood for small Ozzo robots to trick-or-treat in. What's the best way to make a pumpkin stand? Cleveland School 5th grade students took the challenge to plan, design, and create a stand that would hold up a pumpkin. Cleveland teachers flexed their word-building skills using their Scrabble letter tiles. Our PLC staff spelled out Autism Speaks in honor of Autism Awareness Month and as a gesture of support for Caitlin Cotuno, who is running in the New York Marathon this weekend on behalf of Autism Speaks. The Cleveland School also held their Monster Mash. Let's take a look. The Oldham School had the New England Percussion Ensemble come in for a cultural enrichment presentation. The program included The Language of the Ancients and The Language of the Moderns. For the Ancients, the students traveled through time that conjured the image of early mankind using stones, sticks, rattles, and hollow logs to accompany singing and body movement. A leap in time occurred when the group used found instruments of today, plastic tubes of different lengths, trash bags snapped in the air, and newspapers torn in time to foot-stomping accompaniment. The final part of the program was a multicultural celebration, and the students joined by playing the music of Brazil with tambourines, bells, and triangles. Thank you to the PTO for sponsoring this performance. The Balch School held their Monster Mash on Friday, October 26th. Students came dressed in costumes and participated in dancing, musical chairs, and Halloween crafts. The Balch PTO organizes and runs this spooktacular event, and the students look forward to it every year. Thank you to Mrs. Michelle McCarthy for being the PTO point person for the event. Mrs. Salvucci's 4th grade class of the Balch had a fun time celebrating Halloween with a math or treat activity. Students solved a variety of challenging multiplication word problems in exchange for treats. It was a great way to practice their math skills, and everyone was eager to collect all of the goodies. The Coakley Middle School joined Fight Against Breast Cancer by participating and supporting in the October breast cancer awareness activities. There was plenty of denim and pink last week in the CMS halls. Thank you to all the students and staff who participated. CMS Principal Dr. Margot Frasick is still excited and tweeting about alternative seating. Here are Miss Baedes and Miss Siegel's classes getting comfortable and ready to learn. I'm sure we'll see some pictures in the future. The Willett School held their first annual whole school Halloween parade. Each class had a hand in decorating the gym in a Halloween theme and then paraded around the gym to show off their fun costumes. The students enjoyed seeing the Willett teachers join in the fun as they also paraded around the gym to sing and dance in front of their students. The Little Mustangs Preschool Academy also celebrated Halloween with their own parade. The students paraded in costume through the Savage Center for the administration staff and then traveled into the Senior Center to sing to the seniors. It was a special moment to see the smiles on the seniors when they saw all the children dressed in costume. All the seniors joined in to clap and sing along when the students sang just for them. The Little Mustangs also went outside and performed their songs on the front steps of the Savage Center. It's nice to see the different generations enjoying each other's company. And Norwood High School also had some fun on Halloween. In this picture, the English department is dressed up in their English Police Department shirts with the motto, "To serve and correct." Also spotted in the hallways was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, flanked by a good witch and a bad witch. Now, we can't confirm reports that Principal Dr. Hugh Galligan was mysteriously missing whenever the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was seen in the hallways. Well, that's it for school news. For more information around the district, please check the website, Facebook, and watch Norwood Community Media. As always, thanks so much for your continued support of our school community. Now let's go to Brian Dunn with the latest sports news.
Thanks, Tim. It was an exciting week in both Norwood sports and Boston sports as the Red Sox fans saw their team win their 4th World Series title in 15 years. Congratulations to the Red Sox on an incredible season. As for Norwood sports, boys soccer concluded their season with a 1-0 win over Bellingham on Monday, and volleyball fell to Sharon 3-0. And after clinching the Tri-Valley League regular season title over the weekend, Norwood field hockey hosted Hingham in the opening round of the MIAA Division I South Tournament. Let's take it down to Murray Field, where Kathy Sequoia and Nora Glynn had the call of what was a memorable game for the Mustangs.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That is the first save from the...
What? Why?
Oh, that's what the fan.
I disagree with this. Again, the attack player has a huge advantage.
A huge advantage on a penalty.
Oh, come on, open goal! Yes! Yes!
And I'm pretty sure it was...
Oh, my word! That was an awesome goal. Yeah.
That was a nice
and her backhand. You don't know how hard that is.
But that was so nice by Brent.
She is having an incredible game. I mean, pretty far away. I do notice that she's a pretty good rapper. Nice. Nice. Come on, Quinn. Yes! Yes! I think Bryn deflected it. Oh, Allie. It went in. Went right in. I thought Bryn might have deflected. There we go.
All right, yeah, all right.
You know, Norwood deserves this, but field hockey. So somebody like Allie McDonough, she's just got to get over the fact that she's got to be right-handed. She can't use the back of her stick, and she certainly has gotten over that.
Might go right in.
Yes! Oh.
Did Bryn get that?
No, Allie. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And what a team effort. It's so obvious why Allie McDonough was the Tri-Valley League MVP, but a fantastic effort by the whole team. Every single one of those players
they really did
everything they could for this victory, and they deserve this win.
Congrats to Allie on the hat trick, and best of luck to the team as they take on King Philip on the road this Saturday at 6 p.m. And last week, we told you that Casey Smith already set a record with 99 career goals. Not that it was ever in doubt, but she has locked up the 100 career goal milestone, making her one of only 2 people ever in NCAA Division II field hockey history to score 100 goals. Thank you to Casey for continuing to make Norwood proud. And for more updates on Norwood sports, you can check back with me every week on Norwood News or follow the Mustangs Athletics Twitter account at NHS_Mustangs. That's all for sports. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Brian. Sunday afternoon, a crowd of about 40 community members met in costume at Endine Park to take part in a Halloween-themed stroll. Located in South Norwood, Endine Park is right by the Coakley Middle School and the Hawes Pool and Playground. And the roughly 4-mile trail is one of Norwood's 15 preserved walking trails. Progress Norwood and the Norwood Trails Subcommittee teamed up for this effort to show residents how they can utilize these navigated trails on a regular basis. Adults spent the afternoon taking in the sights and learning trails, while kids did the same, while also participating in a very fun scavenger hunt. Trails Subcommittee Chairman Joe Greeley shares a little background behind the inaugural event.
One of the things the Trails Committee especially is trying to do is identify various opportunities for people to go out and see the resources and see the gems, the real gems that we have in town for walking, mountain biking in the wintertime, cross-country skiing or snowshoeing. All the properties are managed by the rec department, recreation department, the school department, the light department, or the Conservation Commission. So we've identified 15 different properties across town, and we're just trying to educate people and make those 15 properties that much more valuable to our community.
Thanks, Joe. Community members can expect to see more trail walks in the spring. Now let's take a look at some upcoming events. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.